I love leaving a place because then I remember it in a more poetic way. I only recall happiness. All the pain distills into the delicate rosiness of memory. If there was sadness, it was glossed over, lacquered, gilded, a figurine of alabaster. Reality has so many unsavory details that can be discarded by memory's most admirable quality, the capacity to reduce, and to reduce to essentials. What is left inspires me and leaves me in a state of longing for worlds I can only access through my imagination. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I think we can all agree nostalgia is an experience of high hand. It's bittersweet, happiness tainted with melancholy, a perfect infusion of those two. The finest of sensations always seems to persuade opposite poles to meet in the center like that. Nostalgia for me has always acted like a mediator between pain and pleasure, between reality and illusion. In a way, nostalgia kind of acts like a rose tattoo covering a scar, the fleshiness of the scar still visible from beneath the ink. Or maybe even more accurately, I would take after Rebecca Solnit, the author of A Field Guide to Getting Lost, and say that nostalgia can act like a distance that is required for a proper blur. The distance that softens the imperfections of a subject that would otherwise be exposed by closer examination. Nostalgia is the perspective of somebody that is far, far away. It takes hold of a memory, distills it into a mirage, retaining only essentials, leaving only an elegant silhouette behind. And we should expect nothing more from it. I'm not ashamed to say that nostalgia owns hundreds of acres in my mind. And on that land, there is this colossal museum filled with somber aberrations. Clouds of dark smoke on chryselephantine pedestals, and the faded echoes of pain and anguish and struggle are stretched at such length between corridors of this massive structure that they become distorted. Screams and moans of agony start to resemble choir music. The farther away I get from an event or period in my life, the more digestible it becomes to me. It goes out of focus and blends into mere suggestions of memory. The invasive romantic rot of my mind kind of fills in the vacancies left by time with false sensations of pleasure. Those gaps in my memory usually hold things that are easily forgotten, and the easiest thing to forget is pain. When I think back on my memories, I do not wish to return to the settings that they take place in. I understand that there is one law of nostalgia, and that is you can never go back. You are encouraged to look back, but not walk in that direction. Oftentimes my memories, periods of my life that have been selected by nostalgia, are times where I felt an overwhelming amount of pain. But once I had left those nurseries of misery, I remembered only the infrequent but significant intermissions of joy. Those brief moments are what nostalgia resurrects from the filth, and the color of them dilutes all peripheral somber excess. I'm wiser now, and I know that nostalgia is only doing what the romantic mind demands of it, to mend, to heal wounds of the past. And I know not to return to the past in hopes of reviving some feeling created by illusion, by the folly of my imagination. The nostalgia I feel, which is its own breed, is longing for moments in time that are not real. There are periods of my life and my memory that have been carefully invaded and amended. They are wounds dressed in lace gauze, reality veiled. With good sense, I know that the memories that nostalgia takes host are ugly ones, where the seconds in between the minutes are either torturous or mundane. But I do not hope to unveil them. I know there is no use in resurrecting those details because the illusion that I've created serves me better. The mirage and all of its dishonesty is more admirable, in my opinion, than reality, because the mirage is the delusion of someone who wants to survive their pain. While nostalgia's primary purpose is to beautify maladies once felt, longing to return to those moments still puzzles me. There is some kind of war within me. It is the logical part of my mind that's bargaining with the rest of me. When reading A Field Guide to Getting Lost, Rebecca Solnit's essay, The Blue of Distance, really stood out to me among the other ones. In it, she says, "We treat desire as a problem to be solved. Address what desire is for and focus on that something and how to acquire it, rather than on the nature and the sensation of desire. I wonder sometimes whether, with a slight adjustment of perspective, it could be cherished as a sensation on its own terms. If you can look across the distance without wanting to close it up, if you can own your longing in the same way that you own the beauty of that blue that can never be possessed." The blue that Rebecca talks about here, the color that she attributes to distance, which is a visual mirage that you see almost every day. Think of a city in the distance, how it becomes blue with that distance. And she's also talking in a figurative way. The color blue is symbolic for longing for a world that can never be attained. It's the blue of horizons and destinations that cannot be reached because the perception of them is an illusion in itself. I read this part of her essay and I applaud her for her courage to salute the unknown and unattainable. Nostalgia casts the shade that it does onto memory because it follows those principles. Nostalgia recreates the past, and what is redacted is filled with fiction. And because the memories are not remembered in the way that they actually happened, they are not accessible. They can only be admired as a work of art. In the museum of my mind, they can only be viewed at a distance from behind the glass. And this impervious nature should be respected, as Solnit proposed. Desire, as philosophers of aesthetics such as Immanuel Kant would put it, is this possessive compulsion that is hindering us from truly appreciating beauty. We should look upon our memories and we should not want to relive them. We should keep them sacred in their unattainability. It should be recognized that nostalgia has the wonderful bittersweet effect that it does because it cannot grant us every wish. It can alleviate the pain of the past with beauty, but it asks that you remain disciplined in your indulgence of the euphoria that beauty brings upon you. You can amend the past and make it more bearable with illusion, but you cannot return to a feeling that you never felt in the first place. This longing for times that you look upon now with rose-colored glasses is a desire for something that isn't real. It's created by your mind. You can look at something from afar, kind of hazy and altered by the atmosphere, but you can step no further. Just look on and appreciate the mirage. If you read The Blue of Distance, Rebecca talks about Antelope Island, which looks golden from a distance. But she knows that as she comes closer to it, as she swims towards it, the outline would become clearer, and soon you're kind of just nose deep in a pile of sand and dirt and muddy water. You have to respect the distance, respect the illusion of nostalgia, and accept what it can offer you and what it can't. Okay, that's the end of this video. I feel like it's kind of a bit of a messy train of thought, but I hope it made sense. Also, I apologize for how varying my light source has been. There's a light that's reflecting off of a window from across my room, and it's just kind of going, the sun is kind of going in and out of the clouds, so I had to constantly adjust the aperture on my camera so that I could still be in focus while I was doing that, so hopefully it looked cool. Alright, once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. For anybody who subscribes to my channel, thank you so much. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, share this video, and leave a comment, of course. You know how I love hearing from you guys. I just might be a little bit slower to respond nowadays because there's more and more comments, so it'll take me some time, but I will respond. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.